started my own company at 17, and I did home repairs and improvements for a couple of years until I started the company that I have now, Presto, and we started in high-rise window cleaning about when I was 21. Got into building restoration shortly thereafter. Started with storefront window cleaning. We would do residential homes, then we got into high-rise, then I started coming across windows that couldn't be cleaned with standard window cleaning. And so, they were stained, like they just couldn't come clean. You try and clean them, it wouldn't come clean. Well, my father refinishes furniture. My whole life I learned how to refinish furniture from him. He's like a craftsman, a master. You could take an antique and like destroy it with an axe, and he could recreate the wood and paint the grains in and color it and make it look like it was never even touched, just an artist. And so I basically implemented what I learned from him about chemicals and surface restoration into the exterior of buildings. And I don't really restore any wood, but I restore glass, metal, and stone. And about that same time that I created the company, Google just came about. And so every question that I ever had about business or anything was answered through Google. And so I started finding all the materials that I wanted to try to remove these stains from buildings. But then I also discovered that it was just as easy to order raw materials from chemical manufacturers to test those out. And I started finding out that it was having better results testing the raw materials than I was, buying these finished products that, weren't even really that great. They were like based on old, outdated technology prior to Google. And then you've got Google here that's, you could basically order anything you want. So I found a team of chemists, and created a whole line of products for the building restoration that we do. We have 32 chemical products to restore, protect, and maintain architectural glass, metal, and stone surfaces. And we sell our products worldwide. We service buildings nationwide. We've done a couple of buildings outside of the country, and we have a marketing company that owns a bunch of websites. And how I'm able to be so flexible with my lifestyle is back in 2007 during the Great Recession. I decided to, we used to have this big office and warehouse and stored all the products and shipped it out and just had a major operation. Well, when the world was coming to an end, I decided to shut that office down and to go virtual. Something that it's like a hot thing now to go virtual with this pandemic. But I did it back in 2007 and it worked for me. We shut down the office. We invested into websites all over the country, so basically going nationwide. Atlanta got hit really bad with the recession. Business wasn't, we weren't landing any business there, and the business was being landed. People were giving it away for free, but other markets were doing a lot better than Atlanta, so we flourished. And also, prior to that recession, I had spent every dollar that I ever made on reinvesting in the company. And when that recession hit, I pulled back on spending and started profiting more, through those years. So we just made some radical changes that worked for us. And now my company is totally virtual since back then. I've hired a bunch of people that are really trustworthy and really sharp individuals that have been with me for a long time. My vice president, Justin McGarty, has been with me for over 20-something years. Michelle Love has been with me for, off and on over 15 years. Kim Jericho, my office manager and cousin, she's been with me for a long time. Just have a really great team of people. And I trust them and they trust me, and we take care of each other. And, I've just pulled back little by little over the years, and they've just taken over and handled things. And I still have my pulse, still have my hand on the pulse of the company. I still have weekly meetings. I still make the decisions. I still come up with the ideas as the CEO should. But I don't have to deal with the day-to-day monotonous, tasks that are needed like I used to back in the day. And thank God, because man, I would get after 20-something years, it's a lot of things to do. Restoring all these buildings. You see all these buildings out here? Look at it. That's what I love about Miami is just moved here a year ago. So much potential that I have starting to build my business more so in the South Florida market. I'm using my YouTube channel to start to market Presto. One time I was actually doing a video in Miami here, and I mentioned that we restore buildings on one of the shows, and one of my viewers actually hit me up with a building to restore in some, I don't know, Chicago or Indiana or something. Yeah, so we ended up landing that job, and it just occurred to me, why don't I talk more about Presto? Like, this show is self-sponsored by Presto. I mean, I wouldn't have this boat or this lifestyle if it wasn't for Presto, so Presto should be getting some recognition. And so we're gonna start to do that. We're start to include more about my life and the business and being a CEO and restoring buildings into the life of Judah Clark, the fishing adventures of Judah Clark. And if you have a building to be restored, give us a call. I'll personally, myself, send one of my people down there and take a look at it for you.